Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank Sunrise Podcast Network for having me today. And our special guest is Andrew Lichtenberger, known as LuckyChewy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to let the fans out there know a little bit about you. First of all, this guy's won in tournament play, according to Hendon Mob, $21,314,094. His best cash was $2,798,700, which I'm sure you'll remember that one.
I do.
He's 50th on the all-time money list. Okay? And I haven't seen this guy since, believe it or not, my heart attack, right?
I saw you in September, right?
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, but I meant at the Felt.
Yes. Yeah.
And I finally seen him at the Felt last week, and all he did was take first place. January 20th, he won his first event, the Poker Go Tour, for $117,000.
That was amazing.
You left off right where you...
I did.
Yeah,
and it was great to see you when I was at the final table.
Yeah, that's great stuff, man.
It's amazing. Dude. Yeah. We have a lot of fun down there.
I have a lot of fun with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you frown.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the sentiment, but, if things aren't going my way, I'm not always the most jovial person, but I like to keep a lighthearted attitude. I like to have fun on the felt, as I know you do as well.
Well, I would tell you this, though. I don't think I've told you this before. Your peers love you. Yes. I'm serious. Yes. They love you, brother.
And I love them.
So
we have a special bond, Like I've played with some of these guys for almost 20 years, so
yeah, they love you.
We've grown up together on the felt, on and off the felt.
Well, I deal to you guys in the Poker Go studio, and it seems like everybody talks like they're all brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think you guys know exactly what each player is going to do before they do it when you're playing against them.
Well, to the contrary, I would say part of why we have such a respect and even admiration in some cases for one another is because we don't know what one another is going to do.
Oh, you don't know?
Well, I mean, sometimes the ace comes out and you made a big raise and you make the bet. Like that stuff is kind of obvious, but we learn and grow together, and it has that aspect that's maybe somewhat adjacent to a samurai culture where we know we're competing, but we have respect and mutual, respect and admiration for one another. It's challenging to play poker at a high level.
When was this? You ended up getting third. I think it was last December at the WPT.
That was 2023. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. What a loaded table that was.
That was wild. Yeah.
But I have the full-time job at Aria, which I love, so I don't get to play as much. But I happened to be there that day, and I was watching you at that table, and just me wanting to be at that damn table and play against you. You can't imagine.
Dude, you're going to do it one day. I know it.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to play the 20th of February.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to try to play the mixed event at Resorts World.
Okay.
The guys from they're having over in the Poker Go studio, they're having a mixed game thing. So I'm hoping to win that a qualifier in.
Very nice.
It's $5,100 buy-in or something like that.
Okay, so cool.
I'm hoping to play. I don't know. You don't play in the mixed events that much, though, right?
I typically don't. I might broaden my horizons a little bit this year because I've played in the past, but
okay.
I don't know. I just love the big bet games.
Yeah.
Yeah, personally, I love the big bet games.
Okay. I love all the games. That's my problem. I love everything.
I don't know if that's a problem at all.
I love all of them, and I can play them all. That's what's so great.
It's great.
But you know what? When you deal all the games,
mm-hmm.
It's easy to learn to play the games, too. It goes hand in hand, I think.
Right. You get
so
to
when
witness
I'm sitting there playing,
hands.
I know what to expect, I think. And by me watching you guys play when I'm dealing to you, don't think I'm just sitting there having a good time. I'm watching what you're doing. I'm learning.
Yeah.
So if I ever got at a table against you guys, I have film on you.
Yeah.
You don't have film on me.
Yeah, it's true.
And that to me, that's an advantage.
Well, it can certainly help that you kind of know how we're thinking and playing, and you've seen all these different hands that we've shown down. But we don't really know that much about your game.
Were you playing the time I played in the Poker Go studio on that $10,000 buy-in, I think a year ago?
I was playing, but we didn't play together at the same table.
Okay. I was doing fantastic.
I know.
I was watching what everyone had and everything. I was fourth in chips at one time
I know.
until I got the word unlucky again, but it's true. I was in a hand with Nick.
Petrangelo.
Yeah, you remember then, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was in a small blind, and I raised him, and I had 8-10 suited, and he called. And the flop came 4-8-10.
This is a good start.
I'm like, wow. And he's thinking he's thinking I whipped the board, right?
Mm.
So I bet out 6,000. He called. Turn card came. I didn't want to lose him. I bet out 6,000 again, I believe it was. He called. Then the river came 4. I thought, well, there ain't no way he's got damn 4. Ain't no damn way, right?
Well,
I bet 12,000. He raises me. And I'm like, God, is he trying to bluff me here? Does he think I have ace king? And I don't have nothing, right? Because, he never played me before. But I called, and he showed 4-5.
yeah.
And that crippled me, needless to say.
Yeah.
That's the kind of way I feel like I'm unlucky. But if it would have been a 5, I would have had all of his chips. I know it.
Yeah.
I know it.
Well,
I know it.
He for sure would have raised you with 2 pair as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But it went the other way for me. But you're going to see me over there one day.
I know.
And dude, I don't care if you knock me out. I want to play with you one time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I at that table when I played in that, Daniel Negreanu was at my table.
Mm.
So I got in a few hands with Daniel. So
That's
I thought
cool.
that was pretty cool.
Definitely.
And he showed it. The king hit the flop. He bet, and I check raised him, and he showed me the king and laid down. And because I love Daniel, I showed him my ace king. I had ace king.
Oh wow.
So that was one hand that I thought, wow, I got to play against Daniel. No, I got to play against Daniel. So that stuff, stuff you remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very meaningful for you. I totally understand.
But I'm looking forward to the day, and I don't know if they're all joking, but I deal to you guys in Poker Go all the time, and
Yeah.
you guys know my love for the game, right?
Totally.
But I forget which one it was. It might have even been you. Said, Clyde, if you ever get to a final table at the World Series or something, you got the whole room going to be back.
That was me.
Was that you?
Yes.
You said the whole room, everybody in here will be here rooting you on, Clyde.
Yeah.
So
You're very beloved.
But I just love what I do. But I always.
Well, that energy is naturally infectious, and it's very positive.
But it's true. I
know.
would be like over thrilled if I had 4 people on the rail.
Yeah.
Can't imagine all 7 or 8 of you from in the.
I mean, I can't definitively say everybody would come. There's other events going on,
Right,
but
but-
you'd get a lot of support. I can tell you that
it would
much.
be like, wow.
Yeah.
I expect 3 or 4, and I got 60, 70 people saying, yay, or even 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Not using no exact number. But I really believe that would really happen because
Yeah.
you guys got me believing that.
Yeah.
Like, Clyde, you're at the final table. Hell, I'm going to get my phone. Hey, man, Clyde's at the final table. So he doesn't play a whole lot, but when he does, I always joke with Ben Lamb about that.
Yeah.
Because he always says, I'll be there. I guarantee you, Clyde,
That's
I'll
awesome.
be there.
And you got a lot of support from some of the European guys that aren't even here that often.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Jans, Arns.
Yes, that guy, he has a card protector with my face, my mug on it. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
That's
You know
amazing.
that?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got a card protector that has my mug on it. And I get asked that question all the time.
He made it himself, or you gave it to him?
I didn't give it to him. I don't know how
That's
he got it.
incredible.
I need to ask him that when I run into him. I run into
Yeah.
him. when he is
He'll be
in the
back this
States.
summer, I'm sure.
Yeah. When he's in the States and he sees me down the hall. Now, last year, for me, I had all these plans. This is before the heart attack, of course.
Mhm.
I was going to play the main event. I was going to play the 10,000 Omaha High-Low Championship 10,000. Going to play all this. I had it all ready to go, and then I had the heart attack problem. So that kind of messed up my whole world. But once I got out of the hospital, one of the things the doctor wanted me to do was do a lot of walking.
Mm-hmm. It's a great idea.
Now, of course, I'm really short-winded and everything, so I have this walker, and I decide, well, if I got to walk and I'm missing poker, I'm going over to the World Series and walk around.
I know, I saw you there.
And that's what I did for exercise. I went over to the World Series. And, dude, wow. The people that were coming up to me and hugging me said, I heard, I'm glad you're still alive. And, I mean, hug.
Yeah.
Not a little tap. I mean,
people care about you, man.
So many, I mean, really, you couldn't believe it. It just kept happening. And I went there more than once. So, you know, different players are there on different days that play certain events. But, you know, Kristen was in the main event.
Right.
And twice.
She had a great run.
She was at a featured table and she come and hugged me. Hey, Clyde. And just so many. I mean, you were one of them too. You came. And I'm just saying, the love I felt from him was just like, wow, really?
It's good.
I mean, I could not believe what I felt. And
it's real.
And I was winded, and I'd go from here to that door over there, and then I'd be so winded. I had the walker I had to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the emotion that everyone was putting me through all right, I know you're the one that told me this for sure.
Yeah.
Are you ready to hear this?
Go for it.
The one player that doesn't like any dealer. What's his name? I already know who it is.
In the studio?
That plays in the studio sometimes, but plays mixed games
like
sometimes. But they say he doesn't like any dealer but you, Clyde.
I told you this?
Yes, you did. You don't remember who's the one dealer? Who's the one dealer that I think it was you that said he doesn't like any of the dealers. If you do anything wrong, he'll point it out. Angry John.
Oh, okay.
Come on, you know who Angry John is.
I don't think I would have told you that because I don't really know him that well.
Okay, well, someone told me that.
Okay.
I can't remember who. I thought it was you.
Okay.
But anyhow, even him. I'm at the World Series. He's playing in a hand, and he's like 5 deep in the you know, he's not on the rail.
Yeah.
And he comes out just to say, man, I'm glad you're okay. And that made me like, wow, man. You know, God, what I hear, remember, I'm not around him all the time, but I just hear that he's angry if you mess up. Oh, you didn't burn, you know, keep it lower and all this. He complains to his dealers a lot. But me, he doesn't. I don't know why, but he doesn't. But he did that at the World Series. That completely
That's very touching.
floored me too.
Yeah.
Because
well, I mean, people care about you.
I mean, yeah, but it's just my love for the game. I'm just an average guy. Man.
Well, I think you have love for
There's nothing different around me.
There is something different about you. And it's a good thing. You have a love for the game, but you also really do appreciate people. You appreciate the characters. And like you're saying, you appreciate the emotion and the stories that develop. And I think that is unique. And that is, you know, different from most dealers, especially.
Well, a lot of dealers don't say nothing. But
right.
I sometimes can't help it. I just can't.
I know. And that is that energy is infectious. It's exciting.
I did it the other last week. I did it. You weren't playing that week. It was the last chance or something.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't there, right?
I wasn't there for the last chance.
Yeah. And once again, as I'm dealing with people to these millionaire pros, I can't control myself sometimes because as I'm dealing to them, I'm figuring out what they have.
Yeah.
Okay. So one hand happened to be a bet with a re-raise. And then the guy comes over top of him for $62,000. And I'm thinking to myself, he's going to fall for sure now. That's my thought process as I'm dealing this hand. And out of nowhere, he makes the call. And I didn't expect, and he makes the call. I went like, and he makes the call. And everybody started laughing. I go, I'm sorry, guys, I lost control there. I thought he was going to fold, but I really thought he was going to fold.
Have you ever done commentary?
No, but I want to.
You would be a gem in the commentary booth.
You know, that's one of the reasons I'm doing this.
Yeah,
because
to boost your personal brand.
I want to do
it's great.
this.
Yeah.
And you almost helped me there 2 years ago.
I tried to get you in with
No,
me.
it was
Yeah.
last year, actually.
Yeah.
It was actually last year because
I came in to do some commentary
Yeah.
for the main event. I
Uh-huh.
thought if they had space and you came in with me, that would have been amazing.
I would love to do it.
Me
And
too.
I'm
I
hoping
think
it's
it would
going
be
to
so
happen.
much fun to do together.
And just like I've talked to other people about it,
Mhm.
just like on one of my days off, which is, Thursday and Friday are my 2 days off, full time at the Aria, even as a special guest inside the Poker Go studio. Just, hey, we
That'd
got
be
a special
amazing.
guest today, Clyde. The dealer is going to do a little commentary with us today. How
Well, I
you
mean,
doing,
you know
Clyde?
all the people over there.
I know them all, and they're always talking to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing it for the pay. I'm just doing it
No,
for
of
the
course,
love.
it's for the love. Yeah.
But you almost got me at the World Series, and
I tried.
can imagine if that would have happened.
Yeah.
You know what would have happened, right?
Well, people would have loved you, and you'd have been requested to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that's what would happen.
I know.
Because when I deal in the poker room in Aria,
Mhm.
that's how they are. I go to the stand. Yeah, we got Clyde. I'm ready for a snack, Clyde.
Yeah. Speaking of, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I needed to call Paul the other day over to the table because I needed a ruling. What is the delineation between a snack, a burger and fries, and the seafood buffet? How big does the pot have to be for these different orientations of meal offerings?
Well, when I'm dealing in the cash game,
Mm-hmm.
if the pot is smaller than the max rake, which is $5, that's a snack.
Okay. Talk to me tournaments, though, because
At tournaments, it's
yeah.
different. If it's a snack, it's probably you're just taking the blinds and maybe a min raise.
Okay.
That's a little pot. Now, when it gets a little bigger, and you're betting on the turn, now it turns into a burger and fry pot because it's a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Now, if it gets to the river and you're talking, you're almost all in, that's the seafood buffet.
Is there anything beyond that? Like, what if you stack 2 or 3 people in a giant pot on the final table bubble?
I could call you a hog if you want to try to tell me. I can tell you that. I don't know what's better than a seafood buffet. I don't know. But,
I was just trying to figure out what the upper limit is on possible outcomes, but that makes sense.
That's a good question because you weren't playing yet. But I had a 4-way all-in where one guy got the whole pot. It was huge.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, of course it does.
But I will say this again. I do not like cooler than anybody as when I deal. I know when no one hate Clyde.
Well,
I
it's
cannot, but
not
you know what?
your
There's nothing
doing.
I can do about it.
They played their hand, right? You didn't play it for them.
I know, but I add aces against kings and stuff like that. And
But isn't that part of what makes poker exciting? Is that
it is,
you
but
can
I
just
feel
like
bad about it though.
But why? Because like they both got what they signed up for. They sat down at the table, and the guy who lost had a chance to win, and just didn't go their way that time.
Andrew, I'll give you this.
Yeah.
When I deal the Poker Go studio, no one gets pissed off when I give them a bad beat.
Right. Well, there's a large degree of professionalism across the tables in the studio.
If that happened in the poker room, they're upset. I mean, they don't throw cards or nothing, but you can see the difference in how they react to it.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing when you're around people who are upset and you didn't do anything to make them upset. You didn't try to make them upset, but you can still feel that energy. I know what you mean.
Bingo.
Yeah. I think there's
as dealers, there's 2 things that I do. I don't know if every other dealer does. But the first thing I do is I scope out the table. Who's at it? Okay? And you could tell by their faces if they're losing or not. Okay? You really can't.
Yeah.
You can tell they're upset. And the second thing is I try to count the racks so I know my rack's right. All right? Because we got to do rack count. So that's why when I go to a table, I try to bring joy.
Yeah.
No, really. Because, come on, we all know math.
Sure.
You got 8 players sitting there playing at that table. Maybe 2's going to win out of 8, right? Maybe. Someone's got to lose, right?
Yeah.
So you want them to have a good experience and a fun time. And that's what I try to give them at the Aria. And that's kind of how the snack thing came.
Yeah.
When I push them a small pan, here, go, a little snack for you. Here you go. They love it when I do that, too. When I switch my voice up some,
Yeah.
Here you go. Yeah, I'll hold you over for a little bit. I'll do stuff like that, and they love it when I do
it's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll get me going, and then I'll start being a little bit more.
Extra goofy. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And if they really have a good time, I don't use it very often, but you're still young buck. Morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I watched
You
Bugs
used
Bunny and
to
all that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at.
absolutely.
Right. So I don't know if I should do this, but it's funny. I think it is.
It'll make a good clip.
Well, yeah. So when I get up and get ready to leave the table, and I tried to be funny the whole 30 minutes, I go, that's all, folks. I do the old, you know what I mean? Well, that's all, folks. That's what I do, and they think they just get a kick out of it. But
It's
see
hilarious.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you lost $100 or something, it just doesn't seem like it's as bad as, I mean, that's the way how I would take it if I was on the other side.
And look, everybody who sits down at the card table understands that it might not go their way, right?
Yeah.
That's part of what makes the game exciting. If you knew you were going to win, it wouldn't really be that much fun.
And if everybody played the same way.
Sure, yeah.
Everyone plays different.
Right.
Some people are willing to put their whole stack on and go over top you with a flush draw, and that's all they got.
Sometimes even less than that, right?
I know.
Yeah.
And you'll call them and hope you hold up.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have ebbs and flows of the game neither.
Totally.
So
I think it's so interesting how people's personalities express through the way that they play poker.
Yeah.
Like you really see like people who are very risk averse and, trying to play, closer to the vest. They don't, explore as much in terms of creative betting and raising and whatnot.
Right. And, one person, I mean, I love Sean Winter.
Yeah.
Very good player. But he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that I tell him all the time. He can be down and come back, or he could be ahead and be behind, because he that's how he plays. He plays a game to where
he's very creative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. I think he's one of the better players. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think it's a real asset to the more creative you are, the more limitless, the more possibility there is in the way that you approach situations. You sort of have, in my opinion, a greater opportunity or ability to make the most of the situations you find yourself in.
Exactly. And there's other players that play a little tighter, but every now and then they'll throw a curveball at you.
Totally.
I mean, so, and that's what they do. I mean,
yeah.
For example, when I play, I think I have an image where I'm a tight old guy, right? But I'm not, and I know that. But I'll try to use it to my advantage as much as I can.
Yeah.
And it usually works.
Well, I've heard you're dangerous when you're in the money.
I'm very dangerous when I'm in the money.
Yeah.
Because now there's nothing to lose.
It's a good point. You're free rolling at that point.
I try to win.
But you live life in such a way that there's kind of nothing to lose anyway, because you're just loving the experience. The experience is the real gift, right?
Well,
of playing.
I know. Like I said, I wish I could play more, but
well, I'm sure you'll find time as
Well, my days off, I go play, and I usually do well.
Yeah.
Actually, before the heart attack, I was on a big roll. That's why I was going to play in all them games. And now that I'm playing again, I'm doing well again. So
you're going to come back much stronger this year.
I'm not sure if I told you this, Andrew, but when I was talking to Aram about this, because he says he likes to teach and learn people poker too, okay? And we're going to get to that part in a second. I got some other questions for you.
Sure.
But once I got out of my head, okay? Okay, it's going to happen. Forget about it. Go to the next tournament with a clear head. Okay. Take another bad beat. Forget about it. Well, next day is a new day. Since I've started doing that with my mind, wow.
Yeah, game changer.
I got fourth in the WPT championship last fall again. And I can't tell you how many times I was low stack. And because of low stack, I kept getting bad beated. But I kept saying, I'm not going to lose this time. I'm coming back. I don't care. I'm coming back. I'm going to win this damn thing. And I even put it and blogged it. Honestly, I kept saying, just took a 2-outer. I had kings, he had queens, he had a damn queen, but I'm still in. We're 9 left. We're in the money already. That's what I said. I mean, I'm going to still win this thing.
That tenacity is important.
And I ended up getting fourth, but once again, I got bad beated to get out in fourth again. But I took it like, hey, I stung deep. I kept in this damn thing.
You did all you could.
And I almost won the damn thing.
Absolutely.
That's all I can ask for.
Yeah.
So I didn't dwell on it. I just, and every time we went on the break and 4, levels, I think we was, all the way up to almost level 20-something, 28 or something. But I kept saying to myself, I can still win this. I'm the best player at the table. I should win this thing. You got to have a little bit of luck. I played my best. Let's go to the next tournament now, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel that way? Like, forget it. Let's go to the next. Because since I started doing that,
I mean, you have to let, whether it's hands in a tournament that you've played as you're moving on in that event, or when you go to the next event, the previous event, you got to just let the past be the past. You can learn from everything that happens to you, though, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you get bad beat, and you're like, well, did I play everything exactly the best I could have up to this point? Could I have saved chips somewhere else to have been able to triumph over this bad beat, having additional chips in my stack? So, there's always opportunities to learn. And the thing I do in my own playing is I never want to be the victim. I never want to say like, I lost because this other person did this thing. Like, yes, sometimes people bad beat you, but I think if you take accountability for the decisions you made and you really own everything, that offers the greatest chance for growth.
and a few times since I started doing what I told you, I have done what you just said.
It's amazing.
And then I said to myself,
It feels good.
To being honest to myself, yeah, I probably should have folded there.
Right.
And then I wouldn't have gotten the mess later down the road. You know how
Exactly.
there's one scene, the second scene, the third scene.
Yes.
Same thing as the flop, the turn, that.
Yeah.
It's each one's
So well said. Yeah, and these things compound.
This is leading in. We're good at this, by the way.
Yeah, we are.
You know what I'm leading into, don't you?
No, tell
Your
me.
octopi poker deal.
Ah,
Tell
okay.
the world. That was the first time we got together.
Yeah.
You didn't have that started yet. Tell the world about it.
Well, so I actually stopped working there.
You don't work there now?
No.
Oh, God, I thought you did, brother.
No, it's all good. I mean, I wish them all the best success. And I helped to get things going over there, but I'm not currently working at the company.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I did some bad info looking
No,
there.
it's all good. No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know, brother.
No, it's all good.
But I thought you was part of that. And
Yeah. Well, I was part of it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you're not with them no more.
No, not at this
Okay.
moment.
All right. Wow. Well, put a shoe in my boat there. Oh, you stay there.
It's all good.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, that's what I thought, and I did not know that. And once again, I don't get to sit and talk to you that often.
Yeah.
You would have let me know that, I'm sure.
Of course. Yeah.
Now I want to say something about this guy here. He's about to be a father.
It's true. My wife is pregnant.
Yeah. He's going to be a daddy.
Very excited. Yeah.
Very, very excited.
Absolutely.
He's got a great wife, by the way. And I how did you like how I joked with you?
It was hilarious, yes.
Yeah, I've been seeing your wife. Yeah, quite regularly every week. Woo, she loves my toes. I'll tell you right now. Did she tell you about my toes?
No, you're self-conscious about your toes. I asked her about it. She's like, no, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
I'm sorry. It's funny.
It's all good.
Anyhow, his wife took care of me. And what I mean by that, when I got out of the hospital with my quadruple heart surgery, my left side was numb. I could move, I could feel everything, but it was numb. My left hand and my left leg from my knee down. And she does acupuncture.
Yeah.
And she got me all straightened out.
Yeah, acupuncture does well with those kind of subtle nerve type of issues.
Yeah, but mine was bad, bud. For 4 months, I couldn't feel nothing.
Yeah.
Till I started seeing her.
Well, I'm glad she was able to help you.
And
that's the goal, of course.
And now we're working on other parts now.
Nice.
But if you need an acupuncture later, his wife is just amazing. Her name's Alyssa Warmpole. What's the name of her company again?
Acupuncture Vegas.
Acupuncture Vegas is the name of it. If you got a back problem, any kind of problem, she can fix it. And God, did she fix me? Seriously.
Yeah. No, I was
bad.
I was really glad that I was able to connect you guys.
And you're the one that got me to her and said, "Hey, man."
Yeah, when you told me you had the numbness, I was like, I'm pretty sure she can help you with this.
Yeah.
So that's
she can help with just about. I've been asked her the other day about, when you get older, you have all these little problems.
Sure. Yeah.
And she says, "Clyde, if it can be helped, I can help it." And that's what. But
it's a great feeling for me to connect.
And I see why you're with her. She's got a great personality.
Yeah, she's great.
She loves it. She thinks I'm a funny little dude, I guess.
Yeah.
But I always tease her about my toes. It's funny. It's funny as hell. About I
Well,
got
it's
one
because
toe that's a little crooked. You know,
you get
stuff.
you get the needles in the toes, right?
Oh God, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
The bottom of your feet,
yeah. I've
but
had
I
that a
got
couple
used to
times.
them.
Yeah.
But she's not. She's working on a different area now.
Okay.
So there's none on the bottom of my feet. They're in my arms and stuff.
Gotcha.
She's working on my chest
Okay.
for my heart thing now.
Yeah.
After getting my hand and my leg back, which
That's big. I mean,
yeah,
especially for the work
it
you
was
do.
big, and yeah,
You want to be
I
able to
I
feel
need to
tact.
get. I couldn't get back to work without having to feel in my left hand,
Yeah.
and she did that. And when I first got operated on, and after the surgery, it took me 4 months to raise my hands to here. I'm
Mm.
not kidding you.
Yeah, I remember you.
I was like, God damn, really? As soon as I got to here, I could feel it.
Mm.
But there's no way I could have even done this. So, and I'm not 100% yet, but I'm on my way there. But
Yeah.
just seems like it's taking forever. But your wife is such a sweetheart. I see why you married her. Congratulations. You know
Thank
what
you.
you're going to have yet, a boy or girl?
I do, but she wants to reveal it to our family first, and then I'll tell the world after.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
live here. So you're hearing this live. I mean, I enjoy talking to you every time because I could just about speak about everything. But here's something else I want to ask you
Yeah,
about because
please.
this is stuff that I don't want to know. So when I win $1,000,000, seriously, because
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. You guys travel all around the world. That's why I don't get everyone in here because they got schedules and all
Sure.
that. What's your favorite place to play that's not in the United States?
Ooh, wow, that's a good question. What is my favorite place to play outside the U.S.? I really loved the Crown Casino in Melbourne, Australia.
Okay.
They aren't holding the Aussie Millions anymore at this point in time, as far as I know. But I really did have a good time over there. It's just a beautiful city, and they hold the tournament, or they did hold it in January. So when you go over to Australia in January, it's summer. And
Oh.
yeah, the vibes and the people, I had a lot of fun over there. But really, I mean, I've had fun in so many places. It's almost like it's hard for me to say what my favorite place is because there's different, unique, great things about all these locations. Like I love Barcelona. Um, where else have I gone outside the U.S. that I've had a lot of fun playing? I mean, I have a lot of fond memories of playing online in a lot of these locations because I was traveling more often in my 20s and going to all these places. And then you're with the same group of friends in all these different locations around the world, hanging out, playing online. Like we're facing
Wow.
each other over the
It's like
felt.
you're on a vacation there too, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like
I mean, you're not
it is.
online 24/7, right?
No, but I definitely played poker most of the hours that I was traveling in these places because I was young, motivated. I wanted to make a name for myself and set myself up for the future, and that was my passion, or is my passion, poker, right? So you go somewhere, you want to play, in the casinos that are hosting the tournaments, and you get back to your hotel room, and then you start playing online. And then your buddy busts out, they come back, they're playing online. It's just
Wow.
it's a cool vibe. So I have a lot of really
Yeah,
fond
if you got
memories of those
friends with you,
times.
that would be fun.
Yeah, Bahamas was great too. Had some good times there. I mean, I played all over Europe. San Remo in Italy. I went to Iceland a few times to play online.
To
Uh,
play online, you go there?
I did a couple of times
You
in the
have to?
past.
You can't play from here?
Well, I went after Black Friday, so I couldn't play in the States, but I could have gone, any number of other places.
Oh, okay.
I lived in Canada for a couple of years and played online a lot there. A lot of my friends moved there after Black Friday.
Oh.
I went to Macau once. That was really interesting. Played online in the spa and got like a 5-hour foot massage and lost
Oh
a lot of
my.
money.
Oh
Probably was too
my.
relaxed. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that was good times.
Okay. What's the one thing that you want to accomplish before your career is over? What would you like?
I've never been somebody that's super goal oriented. I just want to have a good time, be the best version of myself, express myself authentically, and just have fun in life, And like whatever it is that I set my mind to, whether it's success in poker or, personal relationships or growing my own personal brand, yeah, I just kind of take that stuff in stride and I'm just interested in having a good time in life and connecting with good people like yourself.
Well, I, I've, I've always got to go to win a bracelet. So I haven't done it yet.
Well, I respect
Of
that.
course, you got to play to win, and I played in several. I haven't won one yet, but I'm looking forward to that happening.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
I
to that
don't
as
think
well.
that's asking for too much to win one.
No, certainly not.
Of course, it would help on my. I mean, here I am, my age,
Mhm.
and it sounds crazy, but I've never bought a house yet,
Mhm.
and that's one thing I want to win enough to get a house.
I respect that. Makes
Then I
sense.
can have friends over, and play some poker with them, or play a game of pool, or jump in a pool.
Yeah,
Maybe even have a pool at my house.
yeah. You're such a
But
natural entertainer. It'd be great for you to have a space to host people
I
like
would
that.
love. Well, I used to do that at my other place,
Hmm.
but things happened.
Sure.
The COVID
Yep.
and all of Vegas shut down, so my bankroll went down, and that's when Arya came and saved my life. Basically,
Yeah.
actually, it was the Lord that had something to do with that.
Sure.
Um, but I believe, even though no matter how old you are, and if you're listening out there, your life ain't over.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a reason God kept me alive, and I know it's not all to deal with poker, but I guess I have an effect on people's lives, is why I did
You
it.
certainly do. You're a
And
very
that's what I
positive
think.
influence on the world.
Well, I try to stay positive, even think everything goes against me. Like right now, I'm battling a chest cold doing this, even though you might not think so. It is, and I'm just a gamer. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But like I was telling you earlier, I feel like I can't be denied if I really want it. And
That's that tenacity.
that's how I am about when I play now. If I lose, I'm like, you got me this time, but my time's coming.
Yeah.
And I just believe it is. And that's it's not just with poker about my life with that. You know, I've trying to eat healthy and try to get healthy to where I don't have to worry about my health anymore by eating better and working out and stuff like that. And juicing. You
Nice.
remember that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
By the way, all those watching today, this gentleman, when I was in the hospital getting operated on, him and Aram came to see me, and they bought me juices. Um, you brought your love, really. I mean, honest to God, you guys are great. They even sat down and played a little cards with me,
It
so that made me feel
was just
pretty
good to
good.
hang out.
But you know, you care, and I love people that care.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could see me, you, and a bunch of pros feeding the homeless. I could
Oh,
see us doing
that'd be
stuff like
great.
that. And
Yeah.
I'm not even rich, and I could see me doing.
Yeah.
Do you know I carry $5 bills in the middle of my car to give to homeless people when they come up to the
Oh,
car?
that's lovely.
Yeah, and I'm really not that rich. I mean, I'm not poor. Don't get me wrong,
It's a little snack for them.
but that's not a snack, man. You're gonna have to watch my video when you know what a snack is, boy. I tell you, somebody wake him up now. That kind of like it wasn't my best, but that was my foghorn leghorn.
It's good. It's
Now,
good.
boy, now, what I'm trying to tell you, what a real snack now. Oh my! One time, you know how I do this. Paul's always want me to try to be calm, and I try. I honestly try.
But Paul loves your excitement too. I can
yeah,
tell.
he gets a kick out of it too, I think.
Yeah.
And one time, Kristen Boxon was in a hand with um, the older guy. Oh my God, Bill Klein.
Yeah.
They were in a hand together, and I was dealing. And I gotta watch laughing. I'm gonna get coughing. But I always come up with something, and so I'm getting ready to do the flop. I said, "We got Grandpa up against his granddaughter," and they all thought it was funny. And he goes, "Hey, speak for yourself." It's pretty funny, but I come up with some of this stuff out of my head, and I don't know how.
Well, you're
Honest to God, I
you're
don't
just
know how.
naturally inspired.
I got to tell you, this one is fun. I'm going to tell you another one that's funny as hell. This is dealing at the Aria. I always pretend like everybody's really good. 3 outstanding players to the flop.
You're pretending when you say that?
Well, I don't know how good they are yet. I just said no, but they're pretty good.
Okay.
But I make them feel good about themselves. We got 4 outstanding players to the flop, right? Well, I did this one, and I don't know why it hit my head. There's 3 players. We got 3 players to the flop, and I'm burning the cards, and I'm getting ready to put the flop on. I go, some of these guys are so good, they don't even realize how good they really are. And then I spread the flop, right?
Yeah.
And they go, check, check, check. Then again, maybe they do know their weaknesses. Maybe I know. You tell me that ain't funny. And I go, maybe they do know their weaknesses. Maybe they. And the guy goes, dude, you're in the wrong tray, man. That's just too damn funny. Because I'm going, they don't realize how good they are. 1, 2, 3, flop. Check, check, check. Then again, maybe they do know.
Well, I'm glad, given your proclivity to entertain people and make everyone laugh, that your podcast is on the rise like it is.
Oh, it's amazing. And God, I can't believe what's going on, really.
Yeah.
Did you check and see what's going on right now? Wow.
It's amazing.
Man, I still can't believe it.
Well, you better. It's real.
It is. It's crazy.
In fact, you can believe it because it's happening.
It's a lot of work doing this, though.
I'm sure.
A lot of work.
But it's all stuff you love, right?
But it is stuff I love. Yeah, it's part of anything to do with poker. Clyde loves it.
Yeah, it's fun to dedicate yourself to things that you care about.
You said you seen me on that show, Queer Eye.
Yes, absolutely. Elisa and I watched it together.
People are flying in town to get their picture taken with me.
Really?
I'm not kidding you.
You know, I was surprised. A lot of people reached out to me and told me that they saw me on the episode, and I didn't know how big of a show it was.
Really?
Yeah, my mom watched it. A lot of friends that I haven't spoken to in,
wow,
years in some cases, and they're just telling me, "Hey, I saw you on this episode."
The floor guy, and the swing shift tells me he gets like 10 calls a night. They're asking if I'm working.
Really?
Yeah.
And
we had 4. This is funny. This is real funny. I was dealing in a room. Oh my God! And I kind of feel embarrassed, but. Because it's just how I am. But there were 4 drunk women on the rail going, snack attack, snack attack. And they watched the show, of course, right? And I mean, they're yelling it, and the whole room, my bosses and all the people looking around. And I'm like, oh, they go, can we have our picture taken with you? I thought it was so comical because I'm not used to this stuff, but they're screaming it, and they're loaded.
Yeah. That's amazing. Did they hop in and play a little bit?
That's why I can't laugh. It's funny. No.
Not that time.
Play.
They'll be back.
And I was in the middle of a string. So they came up and they took their picture, though. They had the camera out, but they didn't play. But that's just part of, like, wow, is this really happening?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, really. And I hear this all the time and I'm like, man, I didn't know being on the show was going to make all this stuff happen. Because I'm just a laid out guy who just loves poker. I'm not used to all this.
Well, you're extremely marketable because you're very authentic and you're very expressive.
But I'm just loving life. I mean,
I know.
My God, it's all I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing really special. Honest to God, I just love what I do.
Being yourself is the most special thing you can do.
Really?
I think so, yeah, because that's what makes everybody unique. Being who you are is like a really brave act. Like a lot of people feel self-conscious or lack self-esteem or confidence or whatever that prevents them from being themselves. And you don't have that, which is amazing. You've released those barriers to self-expression.
Last Saturday, I got chosen to do a marketing event for the Cosmo.
Okay.
And I went over there, and I wasn't dealing. There's a bunch of us. But they sent me upstairs to deal in the bigger one.
Okay.
Okay, there's like 3 or 4 of us up there dealing that one, 3-table deal. And the guy that was doing the play-by-play, Helmuth showed up, but Helmuth let the other guy, the guy that was doing it. But the guy said, you ain't going to believe this. My wife loves you. Do you mind if I get a picture with you to send to my wife? I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
So everywhere I go, people seem to know who I am now.
That's great.
So we did the old picture. And I'm thinking, wow, is this really happening? Am I dreaming this?
I think the world is better where more people know who you are.
I mean, everywhere I go, I went to work out, and the lady said she's seen me. I go to the grocery store, and I was like, wow, I just didn't realize, what being on a show can it really happen for
Yeah.
you?
I mean, think about how many people that never had any clue about who you are or even really knew poker would have been exposed to you through that episode.
Before the heart attack, I had my YouTube channel going.
Hmm.
I had 308 subscribers. Okay? I get on the show Queer Eye, and I'm healing up, and I think it was December the 11th, they put it out there for you to watch it. And I got all these likes and stuff, right? And they subscribed to my YouTube Snack Attack, right? Clyde the Snack Attack. And it's went from 308 to almost 11,000 subscribers
And it's going to keep
from
going up.
being on that show. And I want to thank, by the way, everyone out there that subscribed. I'm serious. I want to thank you all. And I just want you all to remember, I'm still in a healing process. I'm going to bring out more and more videos as I get stronger. I got a bunch coming up here, and it takes time. And the energy I use, it just wears me out sometimes. So, and plus I got the full-time job. So I want to thank you all for subscribing. And I got a lot of great ones coming, not just this one with this guy. There's a lot more coming. And I want to thank you for subscribing for the channel, which is Clyde the Snack Attack Gaskins. Okay? Thank you. Now back to you. We're talking too much about me. It's supposed to be about you, buddy.
I think it's great to go back and forth a little bit.
Well, yeah. Look at you. You're something else.
It takes one to know one, brother.
I want to hear more about your success in poker.
Sure.
What would you think is your biggest success so far in your young career? Because you're still a young man.
Yeah. So I feel like when you're asking that question, you're asking like a particular event, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, the biggest cash was at the WPT Championships at the Win in 2023. But personally, I would say the thing I'm most proud of is the ability to stay consistently winning across a long frame of time. Because I started almost 20 years ago at this point, and I think there's something to be said for longevity.
Absolutely.
And adapting as the trends and strategies change, and the competition shifts, and younger generations get involved, and
Yeah.
I think like just being able to sustain my winning strategies over a multi-decade period of time is to me probably the most meaningful thing.
Yeah, like every year at WSOP, I was talking to Aram about this. When they have the Player of the Year, what I like about it is it's not just the one tournament that it cashed in. They had to be consistent through the whole World
Right.
Series, and I think that's just as big as winning the main event. I think because it shows your consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, to me.
Yeah.
I mean, the money's going to come with it, no matter what you're finished second, third, whatever.
Well, they're both impressive feats
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd love to be Player of the Year. I mean,
I know.
that'd be great. Hey, well, I remember you back in 2028. Yeah, you're whatever. Yes, wasn't that
Everybody
great?
would, yeah.
So-
I think another thing I'll just add on is, I'm a very intuitive player. Like I appreciate the math, that sort of theoretical side of the game. It's definitely something that I've studied and honed my skills on and learned a lot from. But I think the intuitive aspect, taking things as they come, and kind of like we were discussing earlier, being creative with it, that's something that I think I've done pretty well over the course of my career.
I want to ask you this question.
Yeah.
You're in a hand.
Mhm.
Okay? You got a pocket pair less than tens,
Okay.
and a guy shoves all in on you, and the board is almost blank. The odds of you calling would be pretty good or not good. Or if the guy has ace king and you got pocket tens and you got a battle pre-flop, do you predict the guy's got two overs if you got tens? Or do you think he blanked out? Or do you think he's got aces? Would you call if you had the pocket tens?
Well, I usually try to think about what are all the possible hands my opponent could have. So it might be ace king. It might also be ace queen. Could be ace jack, king queen. Could be a lower pair than
Right.
tens, right? Could be top pair on the board. So I try to conceptually think about what are all the possibilities. And then once I sort of establish some rough estimation of what those possibilities are, then I let my intuition take over and seek to identify what the likelihood of those possibilities are. So if it feels like, they moved in really quick and they seem really confident and they're not the type of player that would typically do this if they had a weaker hand, maybe I'll let it go. But those are sort of the tools, the skills that I use to discern whether or not I should put my chips in or, know when to hold them or know when to fold them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
it's very nuanced.
I had pocket tens in hand.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 diamonds on board. I bet, and there was no card that really would scare me.
Yeah, all cards
And
below
then
10.
Right. And
Possible straights?
a guy pops me big. I mean, big.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've got a decision to make here.
Did he raise before the flop or did you raise?
I raised, he called.
Yeah. Was he big blind?
No.
No.
He wasn't.
Okay.
But
so he's
the point of the matter is, I think he might have, because I raised, this is my thought process, that I thought he was trapping me.
Could be.
Didn't re-raise me, is what I'm thinking. But then he over-raises me like that. I forget how much I bet. I think it was 2,000. And he made it 16,000, which I thought, what the hell?
How much did he have after the 16?
I look at that stuff too, right?
Right, it's important, yeah.
And he still had a lot left because me and him both had a lot of chips.
And you covered him or he covered you?
It was close. That was the 20 minutes, pretty close. But the way he played the hand, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I start thinking, okay, and I'm sure you think of this.
Mm-hmm.
How's he looking at me as a player?
Sure, yeah.
Why
Everything
did he do
matters.
that, right? This is all my thought. And I'm sure you guys think about this all the time. So I'm thinking, okay, I usually bet for information, so if they make a call and stuff, I know where I'm at. But this guy jumps on me like that, and because I deal the damn game, believe it or not, most of the time they're bluffing. I'm sorry, I deal the game and I know.
Well, it's hard to make good hands in Texas
when the
Hold'em.
flop is low like that, like, God damn it. So I'm thinking, really, does he have one of the 5 hands pre-flop better than me or not? All this stuff I take into consideration.
Yeah, well, you also have to consider if he had jacks or better, he might just re-raise you pre-flop, right?
Exactly. So I take him off them hands. But then I see them 2 diamonds out there, and I see this because I deal so often. I see this move every time, whether I'm playing or not. Okay, I put him on the flush draw, honest to God, because he has ways to beat me if you don't have me beat now.
Yeah, well, flush draws are powerful hands.
I know.
Especially nut flush draws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, am I going to get lucky and hang on, or is this guy going to get lucky? I'm sure I got him. Because when I deal in the Aria, in the tournament there, and even with you guys, I see what's going on. So I think he's semi-bluffed me on the flush draw, and I think I got the best hand right now.
So you ruled out him having a worse pair than you?
Yeah, I think I got, I wish he did. Not damn.
Right.
But I don't.
But that wasn't your inclination.
My whole thing was, I think he's on the flush draw.
Yeah.
So there's no way. And when I started thinking about, did he slow play a bigger pair? It's possible. And then, like you said, when I seen about what position he was at, I'm like, he might have re-raised there because he's not a very good position. So I didn't put him on the bigger pair. And the next thing you know, I make the call, and I'm right.
He had the flush draw.
And what's sick is he has ace-6 too.
Is that a pair as well?
No, but ace-6 of diamonds.
It's a big hand.
So he's got 1 over in diamond draw. Of course, he gets there, of course. But my thought process, I thought was right. What do you think about that?
I think it's a very reasonable thought process. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you drew the right conclusion.
Here's my next question.
Yeah.
I know you're a goddamn pro. I know you won $20 million, over $20 million. All right? If you're that guy and you're in the position that if he would have re-raised in that bad position he was in, then I could have put him on that pair, right? Am I right or not?
Pre-flop.
Yeah, pre-flop.
Sure.
Yeah. Exactly. And then the flop comes out, there's 2 diamonds. And the 2 diamonds, and I've got 10s, and he goes over top me like that. And the way I thought the handout, I thought I was right, but I've also been wrong doing that.
Yeah.
But I think in the long run, that decision is mostly going to be the right decision, right?
Well, it sounds like it, yeah.
I mean, if you got a pair bigger than 10s, you don't want me to fold, damn it, right? You might
No, you want to extract value. Yeah.
So all this thought process was on me, and I'm like, man, I can't see me laying this down.
Yeah.
And I was right, but
You were right. Yeah.
But see, sometimes you could be right and be wrong at the same time.
How do you mean?
So my question there is, well, shit, if I laid down them 10s, then I wouldn't have gotten that trouble.
Well, it's easy to say, but hindsight's 20/20, right?
Yeah, I know.
Let's say, he doesn't hit the diamond and you win that giant pot.
I know.
And I think those are the risks that you have to take in tournament poker, where you think you have the best hand, and you can't always wait for the lock solid opportunity where you know for sure you're going to win, because then you pass up on too many other situations where there's chips for the taking.
Well,
People can just blow you off too many hands, right?
When we rolled the hands up and I seen his hand, I'm thinking also, I mean, I know how I play, I know other people play, but I don't call raises out of position with ace-6 of diamonds. I don't. You got to hit a damn diamond or a 6 because someone's going to have a bigger ace for sure.
I don't know if I totally agree with that. I mean, you might have a queen-jack suited.
Okay.
You could have a pair of 5s. Like, there's outcomes where he's going to be able to take the pot away from you if he doesn't make his hand.
Yeah.
So that's part of, being able to call with those more speculative holdings. I like to mix it up with the suited hands.
Yeah, I understand all that, but that's what you got to do.
Yes.
You can't be predictable.
And that's part of being creative on the felt.
I want to tell you what I got on my board. I've had it on my board for years.
Yeah, tell me.
I've got 4 letters up there that the thought process I go through. The number 1 letter is P for position.
Okay, yeah.
The second one's P for patience.
Okay.
Okay? And then there's two next words, T for timing. And then the one that matters the most is the deception. Because that's where you can win a big pot.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't put you on a hand. Like, I've done what you said. You don't think I don't have to have ace king.
Yeah, of course.
I've called raise with 5-6 suited and flop a pair with the open-ended straight or a gutter, and where am I going to go?
I would say some other things to add that might be helpful is stacks, like how big the stack sizes are. Yeah. To me, that's a major thing I look at, because if we have 100,000 and there's 5,000 in the pot compared to 20 or 30 or 40 or 50,000 in the pot, it makes a world of difference, right?
Yes, it does.
The strength of the hand you need. And then, like I was saying, I really think there's a lot to be said for conceptualizing what are the types of hands that your opponent could have, and then weighting those probabilities. That's something I find very valuable.
For all those watching us, ask me some of these questions. We're telling you right now. You guys I get a lot of people that ask me questions. And this
about
is
poker strategy.
Yeah. And that's why I'm asking some of these. I
think it's great.
Not everyone would always do the same thing, but a lot of it has to do with position, chip stack, knowing your opponent, history of him. If he gets 4-betted, he blows most of the time. Stuff like this, you remember.
Yeah, like where are they at emotionally? It has to do with
how you play the hand.
What's their psychology? What's their strategy?
I love it when I'm at a table and players are doing this stuff on their phone.
Oh, because they're not paying attention?
Yeah. I love it. I mean, they're not paying attention to nothing.
They're probably watching the Snack Attack podcast, in all fairness.
That's probably what you're right. Oh, boy, go ahead. You're doing good. Don't stop now. Don't stop now.
Hey.
Sorry, folks. If I get laughing, I cough. What can I tell you? I'll get up, but I have too much fun around with this guy.
It's a lot of fun.
Such a great dude. Can you see yourself ever doing anything other than poker?
Well, I can see myself. So one of the things I want to do more of this year that I started doing last year is more live workshops and more public speaking. I started doing some public speaking about poker to other groups of people. I got invited to do a speech in Denver to a group of successful entrepreneurs about my journey in poker. Yeah. And I was actually really surprised and touched by how much they enjoyed it, because it is interesting. And I think you're experiencing some of that yourself, is how interesting poker is and the insight you have into the world and the industry.
I think it's all crazy, yeah.
Yeah, people love that.
I mean,
it's different,
for example,
it's unique.
I didn't expect, because I got on the show, to have that many people all of a sudden jump on board on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I really didn't. And
I'm
all
glad
of a
it
sudden,
happened.
it's like a snowball, and
Yeah.
it just keeps going. And I'll look at it one day, and everyone that says, "Hey, I found you on Queer Eye," and they say all this sweet, nice stuff, which I'm like, wow. I try to get back with them and reply, "Hey, thank you for the kind words." You know, it's amazing to me.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I'm like, wow. I'm just a little guy from Lake Moore, Ohio, and I got. Oh, okay. I'm a little dude from Lake Moore, Ohio, and what the heck here?
Yeah.
But hey, listen, it's been great as always, man.
Thanks for having me.
I'll have you as many times as you want to come on.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
big difference between this studio and that studio, right?
Yeah, totally. I'll
But
come back
you know
next
what?
season.
I gotta give you a snack before we
Give me
go.
a snack,
You gotta have yourself
yeah.
a snack there, son. There you go. Let me give you a snack. Here you go.
There's one.
And you too can get a snack if you come to the Aria. That's right. I pass them out 5 days a week in that Aria. It's just so. Yeah, flip it up. There you go. Give you a little luck there. Hey, listen, everyone. Once again, we want to thank you for watching this, and I want to thank Sunrise Podcast Network for having us today. And everyone, may God bless you, and have a good day.